Bore da, croeso I gwasanaeth yr wythnos. Good morning and welcome to this week's assembly. Boys and girls, I really hope you enjoyed coming back to school last week. You all did an amazing job. You came back and settled into all the things that you used to do so well. We are really proud of you, so well done. And Key Stage 2 children who are still working from home, online, well done. There were so many of you logging in every single day last week and getting all your work done. All the children are doing a brilliant job. Our Thrive values are about the way we work, behave and live our lives in and out of school. This half term, our value is inspiration because we want everybody at Windsor Clive to aim for excellence. Last week we talked about what inspiration means. It's about being the best you can be. It might be looking up to somebody who's a hero, believing in yourself and having big dreams for your futures. Our story last week was about Captain Sir Tom Moore, who inspired millions of people in our country by raising lots and lots of money for the NHS. Today is the 1st of March, which means it's St David's Day. Happy St David's Day. Dydd Gwyl Dewi Hapus. It's great to see so many of you have dressed up today in your red clothes. Here are some other things that you might see on St David's Day. The Welsh flag, daffodils, leeks, and I'm sure some of you would enjoy a Welsh cake as well. Today's assembly is about learning more about St David, who lived in Wales many years ago. But who was St David? Every year we get dressed up on the 1st of March in our red clothes, we wear daffodils, we wear leeks, we eat Welsh cakes, we have a nice Steddfod, the big competition, where we celebrate St David's Day. But I wonder how many things and how many facts we actually know about St David. So get ready to pause the assembly and name 3 facts about St David. If you can do more than 3, that'll be amazing. So pause the assembly now and see if you can name at least 3 facts, 3 things about St David. How did you do? I hope you could name at least 3 things. Now today's story is all about St David because he was an inspirational hero for lots of Welsh people a long time ago. And it's great that we can still remember him today by having our St David's Day. In the story, you're going to learn lots of more facts about St David and hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about why we celebrate this special day and why he is inspirational to people in Wales today. This is St David. He lived hundreds of years ago in West Wales. On the 1st of March every year, we celebrate St David's Day. This day is called Dydd Gwyl Dewi in Welsh. David enjoyed reading and writing. His teacher's name was Paulinus. David loved to listen to monks in the church spreading the word of Jesus. David's mother's name was Non and his father's name was Sant. David's father was an important man. He was a king of West Wales. They soon realised that their son was a special boy. Wherever David went, a special bird called a white dove would follow him. David loved to hear stories all about Jesus, so he decided to become a monk, a man who works in a church, when he was much older. David was a good and very kind man. David was a shy and quiet boy, and he would sit and listen to the other monks in the church. One day, he could see Paulinus, his teacher, struggling. He had lost his eyesight over time and was now finding it hard to see. David thought he might be able to help, so he touched Paulinus' eyes. Suddenly, Paulinus could see again. David spent much of his time travelling around Britain spreading the word of Jesus. But he returned to Wales with his friends Aidan, Ishmael and Tylo. They decided to build a monastery, a special type of church in West Wales. But unfortunately, one day a fierce man called Boyer came along. He told David he didn't want him to build his monastery on the land near him. He went to hurt David, but God protected David from harm. After this, David was even more determined to build his monastery, the special church. He worked hard, and he made sure everyone else worked very hard too. They grew vegetables and would always share with people around them. One of the vegetables they grew were leeks. They also grew daffodils. That's why we wear leeks and daffodils on St. David's Day. Lots of people went to listen to David talk about Jesus. One day, when he was talking to a crowd of people, they could not see him. Suddenly, when David started to preach and talk, the ground rose to make a little hill. Everyone could now see and hear David. We remember St. David every year on the 1st of March by dressing in red clothes, wearing leeks and daffodils, and holding Eisteddfod competitions too. So I'm sure you've learnt lots of new things about St. David and St. David's Day. So now we're going to have a little quiz. So get ready to pause the assembly on the next slide to answer the questions. Please pause the assembly now and discuss these questions. Hopefully, we've all learnt a little bit more about St. David and St. David's Day and why we celebrate on the 1st of March every year. Happy St. David's Day, Dydd Gwyl, Dewi Hapus.